him a pound of flesh, burn it till there's nothing left. Think you can handle this? Yeah.
Lately I've been talking with a ghost. He tells me all the places I should go. He makes me paint my face so that I know that I'm not the only person in my soul. He tells me that a monster lives inside, and when it gets too angry I should hide. Cause if I were to try to pick a fight, I would barely stand a chance and I'd die. Two-Face called me a Harvey, never know when it could change. Tried to talk to my reflection, but he said he wants my name. Wake up the beast, bury the bones, enjoy the feast, take all control when I give you my soul. Devil's on my shoulder, got an aching down my spine. Feels like chains are getting heavy, but I don't know what's your mind. Can you save me? Am I lost? Is it time to take me from all of these thoughts? Two-Face called me a Harvey, never know when it could change. Tried to talk to my reflection, but he said he wants my name. Wake up the beast, bury the bones, enjoy the feast, take all control when I give you my soul. Bury the bones, enjoy the feast, take all control. Wake up the beast, bury the bones, enjoy the feast, take all control when I give you my soul.
Testing, testing, testing. Welcome, welcome, guys. Let's go over some of these levels in the NASDAQ 100 because we had some really, really good levels play out. Also, let me know if the volume on the music is too loud. If it is, I can turn it down. If it sounds okay, just give me a thumbs up or let me know it sounds okay. I don't want it to drown out the audio on the microphone. Okay, cool. Charlie, is the music too low? Like, could I go up just a tad on it? We got a really good level forming here at 29,447. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So again, trying to do something a little different here with the live streams. This is how I kind of want to, make it going forward. Top right hand corner, we're going to have kind of the day's bias, some of the levels that I'm looking at based on either previous day, right? Previous day Fibonacci levels or, daily support levels, and then any future things. So I just updated the fibs right now during lunch. I will update them one more time if we do break this high. Okay, so if we break this high, I will definitely update it just once more. But we can see that 29,447 is acting as resistance. And there's a reason, again, if we kind of look, not just because I drew some Fibonacci up here, But if I go to like a 4-hour chart, right? Look at the overnight highs, right? I think you guys can see that. Look at the overnight highs. Overnight highs, we're sitting here at around 450s. Okay, so I'm going to drag that down so you guys can see it. But overnight highs were about 450s. And then if we kind of go back to Monday's highs, 29,480s. So 29,480. So we got a lot of resistance here on the day. Again, all in all, considering the back test that we had yesterday, yesterday, you know, day started off pretty brutal before we had that V-shaped recovery kind of coming out of lunch. But when you think about it, nothing more than a successful 5-day moving average back test, right? Market remains resilient. A lot of people didn't like the CPI numbers. CPI came in a little bit hotter than expectations. You know, in my opinion, I don't know what the fuck is going on with the market, right? I mean, again, if I was to try to figure out what exactly is going on with the market, I would drive myself absolutely insane. We kind of just have to show up each and every single day. We have to just, you know, play the levels that are in front of us. Again, we do also have to give ourselves room for these things to work, being that the ranges are a little bit bigger than normal. So for example, right now 37 points on a 5-minute time frame ATR. We are setting up very, very nicely here for a top break, maybe into a run up into the 450s, which is that overnight and Monday's high. Again, we'll have to kind of see. It's just, you know, it's going sideways here now. But the thing about it is this, right? The thing about it is these markets can continue to remain irrational. What's the saying? Longer than you can remain solvent. Okay. So if you keep coming in with a particular bias, like, look, I'll be the first one to admit, do I think the market needs to pull back? Absolutely. As far up as that we've run, do I want to pull back? Not really, right? I've got a long-term portfolio that's doing pretty well for itself right now. Do I want to see a 10% haircut on that portfolio if we take a little bit of a dip? No. You know, what would I rather see? I'd rather see the market kind of just consolidate. If it needs to chop around for a week or 2 weeks, but up here at these highs, I'll be okay with that. I'll deal with it on the day trading side. I would rather not have to deal with the whole, you know, market comes in 10%, bounces, dead cat bounce, and then down another 10%. Because if you really look at it, right, if you really, you know, kind of consider the facts, the NASDAQ is up over 20%, right? So if I was to, I'm going to try to pull something up here. If I was to, I'll pull this up for you guys right now. So if we look at the QQQ, right, I'll just use the QQQ for an example. Let's see if I could drag this across. How the hell do I drag this across? Here we go. So if I look at the QQQ, right, look at the QQQ over the last month. We're up 16%. Okay. So being up 16% in just literally the last month, up 100 points is significant, right? Meaning this market can pull back 50 points on the QQQ. This market can pull back 10% on the Qs and still be bullish. If we look at the year, the previous year, 365 days, we are up 38%, guys. I mean, this is absolutely, you know, it's absolutely insane, right? You know, even with everything going on, it's insane. So with that kind of being said, we are pulling back a little bit here. With that kind of being said, you know, I would like to see it, you know, pull back 5%, just chop around here at the top of the range and kind of give us those levels to kind of play with. But, you know, like, who's to say what's going to happen, right? So again, we just have to kind of wait and see. Now, from the day trading aspect, what am I looking at here? Well, I'm looking at clear resistance here at 29,447. Okay, that's obvious. You know, we're looking at resistance at 247. Let's just call it 250 for the sake of the video. For the sake of you know, not getting too confused. Our support down here at 29,350. So how many points is that? 70 points, 80 points, meaning the market can pull back 70 points and still be in bullish context for the day. in order for us to get long, I would need to see us pull back to 29.360s, 29.370s, 29.380s, and then I would need to see some consolidation. That way I can use that structured low as a stop loss and get long. The only other thing that I can see is if we continue to push out of this coming out of lunch, the only other thing that I can see have happen here is if we break, let's call it 29.450s, we break that, put in a high. Again, I do not want to chase new high of day. So I'll just make that very, very clear. I do not want to chase new high of day. It can go up 50 points from here. I don't give a shit. It needs to go. It needs to break 450s. It needs to put in a high. It needs to pull back. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay. If it pulls back into this range here and consolidates, or pulls back, touches, pulls back, puts in a hammer candle, and then starts to push higher, great. Now we can try to go long and take that bounce. Right now, the day's bias is bullish. We are looking for nothing but bounces. Okay, that's all we are looking for right now is bounces off support. Obviously, the deeper the bounce, the deeper the retracement, the deeper the pullback, the bigger the bounce may be, the stronger that bounce may be, especially if we're scalping. Also, guys, by the way, Apex back 90% off. You like them, love them, hate them. Hey, you can't argue with the $25 evaluation, and you can scale up to 20 of them, right? Are there other great firms out there? Of course there's other great firms out there. I like Apex because I can have up to 20 accounts. Do I run 20 accounts all at once? No, but I like having the option to do so. Just want to throw that out there. Also, if you guys are just coming in, make sure that you guys are hitting the like button on the way in. Definitely helps support the channel. And again, I have no idea how all this YouTube stuff works when it comes to live streaming aspect, but I think if you hit the like button, YouTube starts pushing it out to more traders who have trading content on their algorithms. So what I'm looking for here, again, you could, again, there's an opportunity here to get short. Okay, there's an opportunity here to get short and using like 450s as a stop, but that's a 25-point stop loss. Do we want to do that? Again, it all depends on your risk appetite, right? So your risk appetite is going to completely dictate what type of trades that you're getting into, okay, as a trader. So just keep that in mind as well. We are looking at a 1 minute or a 5 minute time frame. Let me get down into a 1 minute and see if I can see anything else here that looks appetizing. Give me a second here to drag all this crap down. A little bit of a rolling top here on a 1 minute. The SMA that we're looking at here on my screen is a 5 SMA. Again, a lot of you guys know I use the 20 simple moving average. In this market lately, I've been using the 5 because we've been getting a lot more power trends, and I want to see the start of the reversals. I want to see the start of the change in trends a lot sooner. So the only way to do that is I got to get down into a smaller moving average. 5, 10 are good. Right now I'm using the 5. I'm very particular. It's no right or wrong way to, there's no right or wrong moving average or EMA that you can use. They're all the same in terms of they do their job in their unique ways. It's just which ones fit you and your trading style a little bit better. For me, I like the 5 and 20 for short-term trading. And then for larger time frames, obviously macro overviews, I love the 50 and 200 on the hourly and on the daily as well. So those are all moving averages that I will use. But using the Fibonacci levels helps, and it especially helps traders who maybe are still trying to find their groove a little bit, and maybe newer traders, because it provides like exact levels. Like if you have an exact range that you're marking out the fibs on, you can just sit and play those levels, right? Again, are you going to get a setup that's coming about every 2-3 minutes? Nah, you're not. Right? You're not, but it's going to force some patience. It's going to force a little bit of discipline. The big level, also, I want to point out the big level that we reclaimed today was a daily 5. Okay. That's the green line that you guys see on the screen. The one that's going horizontal, that's sitting at 29,188. If we're over that level, we are leaning bullish, meaning pullbacks are meant to get bought. If we lose the daily 5, that's your nearest shortest term sentiment. If you lose the daily 5, you are looking to now short that intraday, okay? That next intraday, whatever, whatever time frame that we lost it, or however long we're trading below it. So use it as a short-term bias. Above the 5 SMA daily, you are looking for bounces long, you are looking for breakouts. Below the 5 SMA daily, intraday, you're looking for bounces to reject them, okay? And that also kind of keeps you on the up and up, right? There was a point in time today, earlier this morning, where we got below that 5 SMA, closer to that 30-minute opening range, where we were kind of sweeping through, but it was nothing more than a sweep, right? We couldn't really hold it. We lost it. We closed above it. We lost it. We consolidated, put in a higher low, and then we immediately reclaimed it 15 minutes later, and then the market never looked back. So yeah, like realistically, we never confirmed a 30-minute opening range low. And again, I think I've made it clear in a couple of videos. Maybe I'll just reiterate it again. For those of you guys who trade ORBs, the 30-minute ORB is acting as a little bit of a stronger orb level right now. Okay, and that's subject to change. That can change on the market conditions, the market environment. It can definitely change. But right now, I think giving the market 30 minutes to pan out, 30 minutes to kind of do its thing, is giving you decent levels that you can play. Okay, so it's giving you decent levels that you can play. What do you guys think? You think the market's going to break out here over 29,447? The only problem here is, like, the market's up almost 1%. The market's up 266 points. The problem with playing breakouts, especially when the market is this extended, right? We're so far extended from macro supports, is that there's a higher probability that you get pulled on the first move. Unless you're an HFT, high frequency trader, or a scalper who's just looking for 2-3 points, and you're trading heavy size, and you're getting in, you're getting out, and that's your game, that's your MO. Trading these breakouts is tough to do when you're this extended, okay? But again, I mean, they're very appetizing, because as we all sit here and we're watching price action, of course we want to be involved in the move, right? We don't want to get left behind. You start to get that feeling of FOMO. If you're a trader who's having a lot of trouble with FOMO and chasing trades, I got a recommendation for you. Trade one micro, 2 micros. Yeah, you're not going to make any cash on it. You're going to make 10, 20 bucks, but at least if you get clipped, at least if you get pulled, you'll learn your lesson, right? You'll be like, okay, wow, normally I trade 1 or 2 mini contracts. If I would have done that, I could have lost 20, 30 points. I could have blown up an account. It kind of teaches you how to manage your risk a little bit better, because everyone always wants to race, especially when you're trading prop firms. Everyone always wants to race to the finish line. Guys, this is a marathon. This is a marathon. Think about it. I mean, if you're trading your own capital, right? Like, I have a portfolio. I trade equities. I trade a little bit of futures in my personal account. And, this is a long game. It's a very, very long game. We show up to work every day. We sit around, we wait for a good trade, or try to wait for a good trade. And then we push our chips to the table. It's not like we put on one trade and that's it. We're going to retire. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen, right? You're never going to hit $1 million trade. It's just not going to happen. Unless you're trading $1 million account, right? I mean, unless you're putting up $2, $3, $4 million worth of capital, you're just it's not going to happen. So you got to bring yourself down a little bit more, think more realistic, and treat it more so as the day job. Again, I know everyone wants to get into trading because you want to feel like you're escaping the rat race, right? When in all actuality, what you're doing, this is pushing up here nice, it is also a little bit of a 5 SMA play here. But in actuality, what you're actually doing is you're showing up to work each and every single day, and you're trying to do your best job in terms of respecting your rules, in terms of respecting your risk management, in terms of trying to identify those setups. So we are coming out of lunch. What I will do, guys, is I will update this fib over the next 3 minutes, because lunchtime, the lunch hour candle is officially going to end. So I will adjust the fib. I'll just drag it slightly up to whatever the new high is, and those will be my levels for the remainder of the day. Whether we trade outside and above it, that'll be top support, or whether we close back below it, it'll be used as resistance for, you know, any potential scalps short into demand. And if you do get those opportunities into demand, those are buying opportunities. For me, the best probably buying opportunity would be closer on a dip, would be closer to 29,350s or 29,300s. The market would need to pull in a lot for that. So any pullback into 29,450s that we take for continuation longs needs to be a scalp. You know, you're looking for 5 to 15 points. You're trying to get in these things, trying to get out of these things for a small chunk of change. You know, you'll have the opportunity to try to short below 440s because there's a 100-point range here, right? This whole range is a 100-point range, right? So there's plenty of money there's plenty of space here to kind of use the high as a stop, right? Stop loss, and then wait for that setup to kind of bounce into this level, reject, and then kind of play it down for a little bit of a scalp. Again, risky trade because you're definitely going against the overall trend. You're not thinking about, okay, we're just going to pull all the way back down. All you're thinking about is, can I use this supply zone to short into the middle of the range? That's all you're thinking, right? And if it works, great, take your cash off the table. If it doesn't, you know, get out over the high of day. Which I might be interested, depending on how the next 5-minute candle opens up, using this high as a stop and trying to maybe get in here. What would make that happen for me is I would need to see us, I'm waiting here because I would need to see us stay below the previous 5-minute candle high and start pushing down. That way it gives me a clear out over 463.5. Now, if we break 463, 464, that idea goes out the window. And at this stage of the game, we're not looking for big trades here. We're just looking for scalps. That's it. There's a new high getting put in. So now, changes things a little bit. We are looking for the 440 support, right? 440 support for that continuation. At this point here, I'm going to get down into a 1-minute time frame just so I can kind of see, because when you get, how do I put this so it makes sense to everyone? When we're up 300 points and I'm looking for scalps and we're over all supply, I don't want a super big range, okay? I want to try to time an entry for a scalp a little bit better. So what I would be looking for here, again, if you guys were looking at the 1-minute time frame, look at the break over 447 and look at the retest. Break, retest, long wick here. This would have been your entry candle for that continuation long. Again, I've been trying to point this out for people in evolution traders in the community on forcing a little bit more patience and trying to get those break and retest to work a little bit better for you, right? Trying to see them a little bit more. This is a perfect example. I can kind of highlight it here while the market does what it does. If our top level here coming out of lunch or going into lunch, right? Coming out of lunch was 29,447. Well, we broke that level. We pulled back. There's your break. There's your retest. Look at the wick here. Look at the hammer candle here. It's a perfect indicator that if we get a candle that takes out that high, we can now use this as a stop. And you kind of just throw your money in here and you're taking profits on the way up. Now, because we're extended, or because we're breaking out, making new highs, you are not trying to, capture 100 points here. Your opportunity to make a 100-point trade came earlier in the day, came off of stronger supports. It doesn't come here. Now you're looking for 10 points. You're looking for 5 points. You're looking for 12 points. You're looking for 15 points. You're looking for smaller targets now. Because all this is this is not an official breakout anymore. This is just continuation of the original move. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag that fib. I'm going to drag that fib up to the lunch hour high. And that, again, like I said earlier, if you guys were on, that will be the remaining level for the day. Okay? So we take it right there. Right there. That's the lunch hour high. So lunch hour closed. That's our high. Now we go down into that 1 minute and we see, now that we've broken that level, do we get any type of retest on that level for continuation? We've also broken the weekly high as well. I think that was sitting at 40s or 50s. I think it was 50 something and a half. One minute time frame is what we're watching here, guys. So here's our break coming out of lunch hour. Here's our retest. I'd like to see a little bit of a deeper retest here. Now, can bias change? Sure. In order for bias to change, short term, again, remember, it doesn't mean days bias. It just means short term. I would need to see us close below 29,463, put in a low, bounce, and get rejected underneath 463. Then we can think about continuation to the downside. But the market is absolutely on a fucking tear, which is great. And, I'm going to look at my long-term portfolio. Might be opportunities to sell out of something here for just a little bit cash flow. And I've been doing that this whole run up. I mean, this whole run up, you would be a fool to be holding long-term plays and not just taking a little bit of profits. Even if you had 50 shares of something, selling 1 share, 2 shares of it, just to lock in those gains, 3 shares, 4 shares, just to lock in something, because God forbid, right? God forbid something happens in the market over the next week, 2 weeks, month, and the market pulls in 10% and you just kind of go back to where you started before this whole run up. So remember, always take profits, guys. Always trim. You can always buy back in, always trim profits. Don't sell out of everything, just trim. 29,500. I'm going to pull up a bigger time frame on the side here. A little bit of a reversal style candle, indecision style candle here. Just means short-term pause. Doesn't mean necessarily hold change in trend. Just means short-term pause. Got the 1 hour chart pulled up here on the side.
Welcome to our freak show, coming on upstairs. Oh, such a fun collection of Stranger Things. My patience running thinner on this melting clock. Cerebrum gel with thoughts most would consider.
I think that looks okay.
To think you're any different from an animal creature sick as you should be put down, but I can't help myself. Please don't hide your imperfections. Nature took to try to make the man in white. No, I don't mind. You are a beauty, not temptation. You're my creation.
Friday night, no, I'm the main attraction. Basket acrobat, they wanna see some action. Tinkering with my design, twist and take my feral mind. Play with me till you found another toy. Let me be your freak show, I can be your favorite.
Yesterday's high, guys, so maybe this might be a level 2. If we hold this, it's also bullish as well. Yesterday's highs is lining up just under my 38.2 and 50 and in between the 50% retracement. So just in between 29.270 and 29.315. So that little 50-point range, which that would be a good stop. So where would, or a good place to bounce? That would be 29.314. It's so far down. It'd be way down here. So holding these two areas here, let me circle this. Holding this zone here is bullish. This market's absolutely remarkable. The way that it's just completely absorbing anything is, to me, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. ATR in a 1 minute's 12 points. So if we do find an opportunity, I know right now I'm giving up 12 to 15 points automatically just based on the ATR alone. Just chopping around here, guys. You want to be real patient. Guys, what do you think about the layout here that I have? Is that pretty cool? I mean, if I start doing these live streams a lot more, should I put this like daily bias and some of these levels that I'm looking at on the side here? Again, it's not something that I'll be changing throughout the day. It'll be basically levels that I set from the morning, and then I'll just leave them up there, you know? And then I'll kind of play around those levels, and if something changes, well then, you know, hey, at least the levels were there and we can see what exactly broke down or what went wrong. I think it's pretty cool. Kind of see some of these support levels. I mean, some of these support levels from earlier really, really like paid off, you know, like in terms of them holding, because the big level from today, again, market's kind of pushing up towards highs again. The big level from today was that 29,175. I think for those of you guys who were in Evolution Traders this morning, remember when we were kind of pulled back a little bit off the open and we were chopping and it was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I was really watching that 175 level. That's where I took a long. Once we kind of, you know, we chopped over it, probably in a 30-minute time frame, we probably chopped over and below it 15 times, right, on a 1 minute candle. And then finally it just like kind of closed over and it hit 80s and hit 90s and then pulled all the way back again to the 50s and then reclaimed it again, and it just went, right? So what I was noticing, again, it was a little bit of a feel, but I was noticing, okay, the market's having trouble making a new low. It's having trouble making a new low. And the longer this is going to go sideways, if we can reclaim that 177, 175 area, 185 area again, I can get money in there. I can get money in that trade and play for that anticipation of, you know, those that break. And that was, I can pull it up. It was way down here. And that was the main level today, right? It was way down here. We pulled all the way back in underneath that daily 5 SMA. We kind of bounced all the way up, and then we just chopped. We chopped. And it wasn't until like 7:30, right? 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so 10 a.m. We kind of just reclaimed it, and then we never looked back, right? Chopped around over the 220 area and then just kept on going. But like, this was the main battle zone we were watching today, was the 175s. It's like right in here. And you can tell, I mean, it clearly bounced there early, lost it, got rejected, and then just had so much trouble. I mean, this time, this is like where traders, they blow their accounts, like right in here, because they're trying to anticipate the move going lower, but we're not making a new low. And then they're trying to anticipate this move continuing, and it doesn't. It just grinds you all the way out. So like, your only thing that you can do is put on small size and tell yourself, okay, well, if we're not making a new low and we're kind of chopping over this area and we're holding this 78.6 retracement here, we're holding that area, we're holding that 29 150s, 29 160s, we're battling there, right? If we hold, you know, hopefully you're in small enough size to where you can stomach that and then come out on the upside. And as soon as we started to break, you know, I was playing small size. I'm not going to lie. I only had 2 micros on the table, but as soon as we started to break 200s and pushed up into like 223s, I just sold. I just took profits. You know, looking back at it now, I look like an idiot because look at what the hell the market did. It just did nothing but go straight up. This would have been absolute dollar signs. But that's the business, right? That's the business.
Go and tell all your friends I'm the villain, though we all got masks. Swallow up all the truth like a pill and let you run your mouth.
Yeah, I like it too, Chad. I mean, it's pretty fucking cool, right? Like, because yeah, exactly, Burks. I mean, each and every day, you got to think about it. Each and every day, like, here's what like, here's how I was taught. You make the majority of your money from your homework overnight. You make the majority of your money each and every single day from the research that you already put in, the levels that you already had. And what a lot of fucking new traders do is they come into the market and like, holy shit, market's going up. Oh no, I think the market, you know, we're overextended. Market needs to pull back. The market needs to go down. So I'm going to short every pop. And you're just trying to, you know, you're firing from the hip based on what the price action's doing in real time. But the majority of my better trades, the majority of my stress-free days come from, okay, I was watching this level. I had a bias, right? And again, I'll make this point. Having a bias doesn't mean that you're only going long, right? I came in with a bullish bias doesn't mean that I'm only going long. I'll go fucking short if the market proves to me that we're going to lose a low of day and go lower. Like, I don't have a problem doing that. But having that two-sided trade where you have those levels and you know what levels and areas on the chart that you're watching, if you just sit and you wait for them and if it plays out, you act on it, you're going to do fine, right? And even if you lose, you'll live with yourself better knowing that you just followed your game plan, right? Because it's kind of like, well, shit, I waited 2 hours for this trade to work out. It didn't work out. What am I going to do? Sit here and trade like an idiot and give away more money, right? I don't want to do that. So again, the majority of your money on the day will always be made from your prior day's research or your pre-market research. Plain and simple. So I think putting these levels up here on the chart, and then we kind of just go after them intraday will work out a lot better. Because at least if you start deviating from the plan, you can look at it. It's like, okay, you know, what was the plan? You know, if we were over this fucking price, I wanted to stay long. Why the hell am I going short? Right? How many times have you guys done that? I know I've fucking done it a lot of times where I've had a specific area or that I wanted to trade and I missed the trade, or maybe I lost some money on it. Maybe I didn't give myself a big enough stop loss or something. And now I'm just trying to go against it, right? That'd be, for example, like me saying, I want to be long over 29,200s, but I'm shorting every pop, every new high that we're putting in here. Idiot, right? Like, and I've done that before. I've been in those situations where I already made the plan to be long over a specific level, and I find myself shorting those levels, which makes no sense. And I think it's, you know, a lot of that has to do with psychology. You feel like you've missed the move, and now you're trying to outsmart the markets. Guys, you're never going to fucking outsmart the markets. You're just not. All I'm looking for right now is I want to see if 460s holds. That's what I want to see. I want to see if 460s holds. Do we sweep this area, reclaim it? Might be a good spot for a little bit of a long. Do we break it with some serious conviction? Back test, get rejected. Now maybe there's a short opportunity there. Little scalp. Doesn't mean short towards the lows. Just means a little scalp. You did what, Chad? Shorted against your level, or went against your plan? It happens to all of us, man. I don't. And again, I don't know why us as traders, us as fucking normal people, why we do that, because we know that we shouldn't be doing that, and we do it anyways. I think it's an ego thing, especially like if you're, again, I know there's female traders out there, but I think for us dudes, we're super competitive, right? We want to be right. We want the last word. Ego's big, right? Puffing the chest, pounding the chest. No, this is going to work. And we keep banging our head on the wall thinking that something's going to change, right? Like, I got a hard head, but again, I can only hit myself on the concrete wall a couple times before that shit starts to hurt. Straight up, Brett. Straight up, B. Because I've even been in situations where I'm like, holy shit, I took a trade, I was right on the trade, I only took 10 points, and the thing is screaming, right? It's going up 40 points, 50 points, 60 points. And I know that I missed a trade. I know I was already in the trade. What do? I'll double down heavier on size and chase that move. And then guess what happens? Now I'm in double, triple size, on a move that I was already in and took profits on, but now it's up 50, 60 points and I'm still chasing it, pissed off that I missed out on the move. And guess what? It pulls back 15, 20 points. Count's gone, right? Or gave back all my profits. That's happened to me like many times. It's like, if we could turn that personal switch off to where it's like, okay, you made your money, whether you like how much money you made on the trade or not, just walk away. If we could turn that switch off, we would all be so much better. But again, you know, that's why sometimes trading with other traders, kind of seeing how other traders do things, talking to other traders helps, you know, kind of being reminded helps. Even myself, I mean, I have to remind myself each and every single day, because like for me, I have a strong feeling that this is going to pull back into 460s. Why not just get short now, right? Why not get short now? And maybe I think to myself, I can take 15 points on this. I can take 10 points on this. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, right? But what's the smarter play? Let it pull into 460s. Let's see the reaction, and then maybe we can play something off of that. Because especially when you're green, like when you're green, you start doing all sorts of stupid shit, right? You start trying to make the $300 day, a $500 day, the $500 day, a $1,000 day. Because it's kind of like, oh, well, I've got all this profit to play with. I've got some leeway. Yeah, it looks like we're going to pull into the 460s here and at least retest it, because we haven't really touched it. We haven't really touched that lunch hour high since breaking it right at the opening of the new hour candle. It is kind of rolling over here, so little bit of a weaker pullback. So here's that touch. See what this candle's doing. The immediate reaction is a spring right off of it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait and see. There's 45 seconds left. I'm going to wait and see if the next candle confirms the high or it loses the 460s. Now, for you aggressive scalpers, this is a perfect opportunity, right? Where you get that perfect test and you jump into this candle. You would have been out already. It's a 15, 16 point range candle, right? But me, I'm fucking scared to give away some gains here. So I'm going to wait for the next candle, which the reaction here on that break and retest, fucking perfect, right? You couldn't have, it's a 20 point candle from the touch. I mean, you can't make this up. It couldn't have been a better break and retest. Let's see if I can capture something here on this. Play it back into these highs here at around 90s. See if I can get a push into 90s here. That last move was so juiced it could be tired out here. I won't give it too much room though. I just want to see something with 90s on it. Again, I'm not playing for like a complete high of day break. I'm just playing for, there's 91s, 92s. I'm just playing for even a higher or a lower high be put in here. If we could just get a little bit more test here. 93s. Where the fuck is my target? I think I have it at 95. 93's got tagged again. $93.5 was actually 10 points for me. I should have taken it off there. There's 93's again. Gonna pull back here. The 93's was a good take profit. I fucking put my damn, the level 2 was moving so fast. I dropped it like 2 points too high. Let's see what this pullback wants to do here. I do have the 1 minute 5 SMA trailing. Yeah, 92. See, that was a good trade, B. I should have got out at 93's. That's my fuck up. I got the damn, I set the order too high. See if we can get back into the 90's for me one time. Perfect break and retest, guys. So if you guys are kind of studying these break and retests, I mean, this is picture perfect. Break that lunch hour, you pull right into it, you get in. Even if you got in over this big green candle here on the 1 minute, it still provided you from 83s to 93s was 10 points. I might have to flatten this here. If I don't get a push here into the 90s, I'm gonna have to flatten this at break even. Come on, give me 90s, you son of a bitch. Give me that second opportunity. There's 90. There's 91. There's 91 again. Flirting. Having trouble. It's too slow for me. Too slow for me. $91. Come on, give me the 93, you son of a bitch. I'm out. I don't even know if I got 4 or 5 points on that. I'm out. I didn't like how it was going too slow. My entry was 83s. I tried to sell it at the 91s. I wanted to see 93 again for the 10 points. Whatever. It is what it is. But again, see, like, so just to break things down, right? If you kind of look at situations, where was the ideal entry, right? Because you'll never have the picture perfect entry. And I think, hey, B twins, we were talking about this earlier. Instead of looking at exact levels, like exact price points, look at the zones, right? This motherfucker's gonna touch 93. If you look at the exact level, this trade touched the exact level, right? So you could have got in long and used any stop on a closure below that level. Okay, perfect. However, you could have got in any time during this run up. You could have gone in any time on this green candle over the previous candle high, or you could have actually even got in higher where I got in. I don't know where you got in, but I got in at 83 at the top of this candle, and it still provided from 83 all the way up to 94, 93 and a half, which was still 10 points. So it doesn't have to be the exact move, exact pinpoint. It needs to be the structure. Like, you need to have the right idea on the structure, right? So again, even in my situation, I had an opportunity to take 10 points. My fuck up, I think I had the level 2 was set at like 95, right? Which would have been 12, 13 points. Missed me by a point or two, came in. I'm going to make a point here. It came in, gave it a little bit of room, and then watched it push up again. I personally, this is a me thing. I personally did not like how slow it was going to break through those 90s again. I take the trade-off. What did I end up with? 4 points? Oh well, who cares? Doesn't matter. I'm already green on the day. I don't give a shit. Do you know how many trades a week I fire off where it's scratch trade, where it's 2 or 3 points because it didn't go as fast as I wanted it to go? A lot. There's a lot, right? There's a lot of times that it does that. But then there's also the handful of trades throughout the week where you get in and it goes 10 points, 15 points, 20 points, 30 points. And it's like beautiful, right? So you have to take the good with the bad. You have to take the scratch with the good. You have to take the scratch with the bad. It's all jumbled in. And a lot of times traders get so in their heads where they're like, oh man, I was watching this level. It didn't work. I got in too late, blah, 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 blah. Quit crying, right? Quit crying. There's so many fucking traders that cry all the time. Like you're not gonna win every trade. Every trade's not gonna be a home run. Some trades are just meant for little cash flow, guys. For just basic cash flow. And I'll be honest, I don't trade futures a hell of a lot on my Thinkorswim because of the fucking margins are just too expensive, right? Like I got a TraderVate account where I can trade these micros for $50, $100. Thinkorswim charges like $2,000 to trade these things, a contract. So sometimes I'll only fuck around and trade 2 or 3 contracts at a time, 1 contract at a time. Today, the most contracts I traded on micros was 2, and I'm up $216. Trading 2 micros? Get the fuck out of here, right? It's easy cash. It's like, is it life-changing money? No, but take the $200, deposit it into the bank. Guess what? We're going to dinner tonight. Or put it in your portfolio, stash it, do whatever you need to do, right? So many people get caught up in all of this social media bullshit where, you're trading 20 accounts, you're making fucking $10,000 a day, but realistically, prop firm or personal capital, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is come into this game and try to stay consistent. Can you pull cash out? I don't give a shit if you pull $100 out a day. I don't care if you take 1 payout all month from all 20 of your prop firms. Can you pull $1,000 out of the markets? That's what it's about. Return on investment. We're not here trying to make fucking $10 million, which, obviously we are, but we're not doing that on a day in and day out basis. We're trying to come in and try to pull some cash out. That's the name of the game. Yeah, and that's in B-Twins. Think about it. You take 3 points on one trade, 5 points on another, catch 10 points on another, 4 points on another. You're up 20, 30 points. You're trading a couple of contracts. That's $30. That's $50. That's $30. Next thing you know, you're up 150. You're up 200. You're up 300. We're getting another test here. So 1 minute chart, double bottom here. Is there a shot that this bounces again? Is there a shot this bounces again and you can use maybe a 10-point stop? Let's see how this candle finishes up. There's 25 seconds left. If the following candle can push highs here over 475, I might be interested. We get a little order out over 76. Filled. See if we can push. I got a 10-point stop on this. If it doesn't work, so be it. It's try to test this level multiple times here. So you got to figure if it breaks down from this level, it's probably going to be a short, right? And that gives us a clear indicator where, okay, maybe the bias is starting to change here going into the close. We're in at 76. Again, not working as fast as I wanted to, but that's to be expected. The later in the day you get, the slower these fucking candlesticks move. Need to see a push here pretty quick, or I'm going to cut it for scratch. That's the thing with me. I have very short patience. You need to start working or you're gone. Getting a little weak here at this top level. 463 needs to hold. 463 doesn't hold. You could see a little bit of a bigger back test here, and that would cause me to get out of the longs for the short term being. Gotta hold 463, 460. Trade's gonna get clipped right now. Buyers better show up quick. Really weak right here at this level. Buyers having a little bit of a hard time stepping in. How's everyone else doing today? You guys do okay today? I really hate trading after fucking lunch. This is the 4th time it's fucking held this level. Push. We're back to break even here. At this point, I'll probably, if I get 5 points, I'm out. There's 5. It's flirting with 5. It's flirting with 5. I need to see it break definitively. There we go. I'm out, guys. 5-point fucking scalp, and I felt like I worked way too hard for that. It's ridiculous. Nice, Chad. Good shit. Good shit. If I'm looking at the daily chart, guys, on another screen. The fucking guys, look at your daily chart. Like, if you're wondering why we're just consolidating right here, I mean, this is on 1, 2, 3, 4 days consolidation at these highs. This fucking market looks like it's ready to put in another leg higher. Absolutely incredible. Yesterday's sweep and backtest of the daily 5 is basically set up this whole move today. I can't believe it. I mean, I've been, like, again, like, I don't care if you've been trading for 3 months or 30 years. I mean, I want someone to tell me that they have seen the market react and perform this way. Like, what is happening in the market is just crazy. Like, I have not seen this before. Like, this is nuts. It is nuts. The only thing that scares me, could you imagine if this market pulled back in? The thing is, what did I say earlier? The market's up 16% this month. So if the market's up 16% this month, even if we went back to flat on the year, that would be a 16% haircut from here. And if the market went down 15%, like, what's a normal correction? 10 to 15%. That would mean that from where we currently stand to a 10 to 15% correction would be a 30% total all in all haircut. If the market touched bear market territory, went back to flat and down 20%, that would put us down 40% or 35%, almost 40% from where we currently stand. That would be insane. People would get absolutely destroyed. You know who wouldn't get destroyed? Obviously big money, right? Because big money is going to sell into that move and then they'll buy back down at the bottom. But to everyone who's been kind of buying this run up, you're bringing that dollar cost average up higher and higher and higher. Like, I haven't been able to buy anything long term, like for my long term port in weeks, just because of the fact I don't want to raise that dollar cost average up. Because if the market was to go back to flat and even down 10%. That would mean that all in all, those positions could be down anywhere between 15 and 25%. There's 88. So that level held again. That level held again. Like another little good break and retest hold there. 463's holding was really good.
I'm out of my mind. I'm tripping inside. Something was different. I won't be missing you for the night.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I mean, it would be a crazy loss, and it in like technically speaking, going back to flat on the Nasdaq, right? Just we're up 16%. Going back to flat means that from where we're at is a 16%. I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, so even going to flat and down 5% means that we're down 20%. Like, people would get destroyed. They would get destroyed. Because you know what's going to happen is the market's going to pull back. People are going to buy the dip. Because what's been happening, you're already being conditioned to buy the dip, right? Any dip is getting bought up. You guys can see that, right? Not just today, but for weeks. Every dip is getting bought up. Gap down, who cares? Bad CPI, who cares? Iran tensions, who cares? So everyone's consistently buying the dip. So if you start seeing the market go down 1%, down 2% in a day, down 0.5% in a day, what's going to happen? People are going to constantly buy that dip, and you're going to get shredded day over day over day. And it would only take, 3-4 weeks for us to go from right here where we're at to overall total down 10-15%. It would take 2-3 weeks. It would wipe people out. People would be absolutely liquidated, margin called up the ass. I know people right now who are tapping into so much margin, buying things like AMD. I mean, look, like, have you guys seen some of these semis? Like AMD, 450. Look at this fucking run on AMD. This is insane. A month ago, we were trading at 200. We were trading at 190 a month ago. This is up at $450. What about all these people who are here dollar cost average at 300, dollar cost average at 370? Because if you think about it this way, guys, if the NQ is back to flat, down 10%, that doesn't mean AMD is back to flat, down 10%. AMD is down 40%, 50%, 60% from here. And if you're leveraged with margin, you are fucking toast. You are toast, right? Look at, this thing, right? Fucking SanDisk. This thing topped out at 1,600. Guys, 2 months ago we were trading at 500. It's doubled, right? That's not even the bigger story. Look at this. To start the year, SanDisk was trading at $250, guys. I mean, could you imagine if SanDisk pulled back even 50% down to 700 and your average is over 1,000? You are crushed. You are done, right? MU, great company, right? Great company. It's trading at $800. Look at my Fibonacci's that I had when I was actively day trading the breakout on MU, guys. Look at this shit. You see the triple top here? 1 top, 2 top, 3 top. Look at the fibs from the high to the low. The breakout on MU was at 470. It's trading almost $400 higher. This is some stocks are not healthy. Now, are all stocks in the NASDAQ doing this? No. But some stocks are doing unhealthy things. So there's so much weight. Nvidia is so big, it doesn't move that crazy. But Nvidia has broken out, right? A couple months ago, Nvidia was trading at 160. It's up almost $80 from there, right? From the lows when we were down 10%, it was at 164. these semiconductors have been absolutely running so hot that even if they pull back 30%, 20%, you're telling me MU can't pull back 20%? You're telling me SanDisk can't pull back 30%? It started off the year at $200. It topped out at $1,600. You're telling me if it doesn't pull back to $1,000 that the market's not going to come crashing down? Short-term wise, right? So again, for us, a lot of this stuff doesn't really matter because we're trading futures, and at the end of the day, like, we'll make money long or short, but it's going to make things very, very difficult for us because the VIX will spike, the volatility will be insane, which means that your normal 5-minute candle you're entering even right now at 30-40 points is going to be 60, 70, 80 points. A lot of people are going to get left holding a serious bag, and it's like, which companies are going to come out of this? I've seen the same thing happen during the pandemic. The same thing, the Zooms of the world, the Pelotons of the world. I mean, guys, look at something like Peloton. This thing was up so much during the pandemic, right? For obvious reasons. Well, they've already split this thing. It's at $5, lows of $2. I mean, this thing was trading in the hundreds. Now, I know they've reverse split this thing, but like, there's some names that never came back, right? Like, another one, online buying, fucking Wish. Did they delist this fucking thing? What's wrong with this thing? Did they delist this thing? Why isn't it not popping up? Context Logic? What the fuck? Where the hell happened to Wish? Wow, I don't know, but that thing was $55, $60. Came crashing down to like $1, right? So much crap, never came back, right? And you have to imagine that there will be some names that don't come back. Now I'm looking at Zoom here, right? You got a lot of, again, I don't even want to get into it, but this rat virus or whatever, making a big old deal about it, right? What is it? Where is it? Who knows? Whatever the case may be, but like, that's why you're getting this run up on this breakout over 96 into 111 has a lot to do with the news on that. But a lot of the AI trade, the semiconductor trade has crushed software. Software has barely started to make its bounce. But I mean, look at something like Adobe, guys. Look at something like Adobe, right? Big company. Last year, the year before, trading at $600. This thing's at $200 right now. If there is a quote unquote bubble, an AI bubble, and you have things, I mean, you could be looking at something like SanDisk up at $1,600, trading at $200 in a year, and never comes back, right? That's how markets go into bear markets. That's how people get crushed. That's how people get liquidated, is because they have so much money tied up into these things, so much margin. You get absolutely crushed and destroyed, and that can lead markets into a bear market. Now, again, I hate to sound like a broken record. Does it matter much for the people trading futures and you're just day trading, and you're trading your prop firm? No, it doesn't really matter, because you're going to short this thing, but it's going to make things difficult. Like, a lot of traders like volatility. Like, you think you like volatility, you think you like big ranges, and you like to see these candlesticks move 100 points, and you like to capture the 50-point trade. But realistically, you don't want volatility. Okay? You don't want volatility. You want slow and boring, predictable. You want small ranges, predictable. You want small stops, predictable. You want chop for 1 day, chop for 2 days, and then boom, we break a specific level and we have a beautiful trade. That's what you want. You don't want every day to be up fucking 500 points, down 500 points. You don't want that. And in a volatile market where, the market corrects, you'll see that. And even for us trading props, and even for us trading, futures, it's going to make for a difficult trade. It's going to be a very difficult trading environment. And, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Make sure you're sizing down. You know, don't be the guy who wants the 20, 30, 50 point winner. Be the guy who takes out 5 to 10 points every day. You take a couple trades, you make your cash, you collect your paycheck, you get your withdrawal, and you move on with your business. Be that guy. Be under the radar, right? You don't want to be the guy who, you know, is chasing the $1 million payout with Apex. You want to be the guy who comes in there, 10, 20 accounts, you're very consistent, you're taking out $500 a month from all accounts, you're making $5,000, you're making $10,000 a month, you're making 15 on a good month, and you're under the radar. You're doing shit the right way, you're doing shit smart. You might see a little bit of a pause here, a little bit of a break. Little bit of a break. Again, are we going to back test the 63s and push off again? I'm not going to try it again. I've tried it twice already. 5 points once, 5 points again, 4.1, 5.1, fucking A. Be my luck this time this thing crashes through, right? So like you also have to get to a point too where, you know, you're playing the same level over and over and over. You have to just say, okay, throw your hands up. Like you had your way with it already, and that's it. Because look at this time, guys. Came down to 463. Didn't hold this time. Didn't hold this time. How many people you think try to buy off that level again? A lot, right?
What happened to the person you used to be? Your words are filled with poison and it's killing me. I can take another second next to you. You make it hard to breathe. It feels like all the
Guys, you guys see this? Wow, look at the drop. You guys see this 10-foot tall shadow alien sighting? Largest police response in Florida history? What is this? Why did somebody send me this? When was this? On New Year's Day in 2024. Why the fuck did they send me this right now? What the hell? What are we talking about right now?
Never really fit here inside this scene. I tried to play the part, but I live to win. And now you're asking questions I don't understand. You make me want.
All right, so now we look at this level as supply, right? We broke through clearly. We broke through cleanly. We look for the push back up into this level to see if it prior support is new resistance. If it is, that's your short opportunity. Your closure, your stop loss would be a break out of that. If you're still looking for trades, I don't really know if I'm looking for any more trades right now. I'm always game to watch price action, but I don't really know if I want to chance this. We'll see how good it looks to me based on what it does. Sometimes trades don't seem too appetizing until they actually set up. You know what I'm saying? Support below this 29,371. I want to see us push back into 460s. I want to see that get rejected. If you're looking for the short, you don't want to see us close strongly over 460s and hold. You want to see us get pushed back down, right? I think the market can close like this, right? Between positive 200 to 300 points. I think that's fine. I think the bulls and the buyers did their job today. I think you can give the bears a little bit of throw the bears a bone, right? Give them a little bit of a bone here. What do you guys think? You think they're going to throw the bears a bone? Think they give them a short? This would be the area here. You heard about that, Chad? I don't know why someone just sent me that. I just got a text message right now with that video. Like, this is 2 years ago. What the hell are we talking about? Like, how is this even still circulating on social media? Why is it still viral? Okay, here's the back test. Here's the back test. You hear about this shit, Beat Twins? 10-foot alien shadow in Florida in 2024. What the hell's going on here? Here's the back test. What? Where we at on the clock? Where's the stopwatch at, guys? 20 seconds for the new candle to open up. So in a situation like this, taking a short would be against the bigger trend on the day, correct? Look at this fucking push. What a fucking market, right? Like, what the hell? I'll finish my point here after this candle. What I was gonna say is that, look at this. What I was gonna say is a break and retest against a trend is always dicey. You have to treat it as a scalp. I know there's degens out there looking for that trade. It would have to be a 5, 6, 7 point scalp. But what you would want to see is the break through the 63. We got that. You want to see a push back into this level. Now, even though we're over it, it's still fine. You would want to see us lose 63 again. And once we lose 63 again, that's when you're going to go short using like a previous candle high as a stop. But this push is pretty fucking aggressive. I mean, basically back into the upper range here. Unbelievable. Daily chart's strong. 4-hour chart strong as well. I mean, obviously, but 4-hour chart looks fucking great too. You know, there's always a case that you can make. 4-hour chart looks great, like it's ready for a breakout, but another person could say double top on the 4-hour short here. Right? Who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. Pay me. Just give me some cash. Yeah, just give the Bears a little bit of a bone. I'm with you on that, Chad. I would like to take a little bit. You know, it's just a quick one. You know, give me 5, 10, 15 points. I'll be okay with that. They're basically pushing us right back up. We are getting some wicks here. I mean, the Bulls have nothing left to prove today, right? We know the Bulls got big balls. They got nothing to prove. Give the Bears a little taste here. Let's see. See if we can get through 63s again. Maybe at least test 40s. That's 20 points of range. The way I look at it is get through 63s. Lows on this previous structure is 40, 41. Even if we get half of that, that's 10 points. Guys, make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, fam. What a fucking reclaim. Got a lot of orders sitting at 85. That's right in. That's right up here.
He started playing new shows with his elegant clothes, and the fame was attached to his name. He was the talk of the
A
town.
lot of orders at 85.50.
Gaze at the way that he sang. He couldn't control his own fingers. He played so damn fast. You would think he was Satan himself. The news wanted photos and more. So
Why? Why? If we break 85s, what? We're gonna run highs. 83, 85. I got a round of golf scheduled today, guys. I'm going to be getting off here in just a little bit, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Old guy like me got to stretch out. Need at least an hour to get warm. Here come those orders getting filled at 85s. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. That's pretty fucking cool, right? Pretty fucking cool that they can do that. That's why, I mean, you can never expect anything in these markets. Never. Just react. Just react. Don't anticipate anything. Could you imagine all the people that were anticipating this to just continue lower, who funneled into this big move? You guys just got trapped like a bunch of buffoons. I guess what we're watching is this here. Wow. Wow. What a life, huh? What a life. What a life. What a time to be alive for the Bulls. What a life. Jeez. It's a 40-point bounce. I suppose when you look back at it, the reclaim, Jesus, we just broke highs. The reclaim was the level, right? Sweep through 63s, get a candle to close over 63, get long, use the previous candle as a stop. Why the fuck does everything look so picture perfect in hindsight? There's the reclaim of 63. Here's your stop. Where's your profit? This high, this high. Take profits into that. It's a cash. Looks like all those guys who had orders sitting at 83, 85s got paid on that high of day break. Wow. You guys ever do that? Like when you're looking at price action, do you ever run through those scenarios and kind of think like, who was positioned to make money? What were they looking at? I do it all the time. It gives me screen time to next time when I see this, you know, I can tell myself, well, the market's been strong all day, even though we just lost this level. If we reclaim it, you've got to give your respect to the bulls, right? You have to. See if they want to run highs one more time. I think this day is done. Regardless if it pulls back or continues, it's done. Man, look at the hour candle. It's just like some free shit on YouTube. It's shit, I don't know. Let me look. Is it good? Is it bad? I change it or what? The playlist. Let's see. I don't know. Playlist is shit, I don't know. It's some channel called Fearless Mix. And this playlist is Villain Mix. Hopefully it's copyright free, or else they're gonna strike my ass. I don't know. Wow, guys, this day's over. What are we gonna do, right? We're not chasing this anymore. We're not chasing this anymore. Where's the pullback? I mean, again, we had the pullback. It was 63s. 60, 70 points over that. What are we gonna do? Wait for 63 to get pulled back again? Nah, way. Can't take it up here. That's stupid. This day's over. That's another thing too I'll leave you guys with. Sometimes you're looking at price action. It's like, would I have loved to be in this move again? Sure, absolutely. But I can't chase this, right? I can't even justify, you know, what? I mean, what am I gonna do now? Like, where's the pullback now? Okay, the previous high of day break, that would be maybe 500. So you pull back 500, hold, and take it again. Like, you get to a point where there's a difference between, and tell me if this analogy makes sense, okay? Tell me if this analogy makes sense. You get to a point where jumping out of the first story is cool, right? Look at them, look at it go. Yeah, this it's done, guys. Don't chase it anymore. If you're long, congratulations. If you took it, take some profits. But I'm gonna tell you guys this: 2 hours left. Yeah, what are the odds that it continues higher? I don't know. Does it pull back? Yeah, probably. Where's it gonna pull back to? Probably 63s. Could it lose 63? Sure, but you get to a point in time, guys, where jumping out of the first story house, like jumping off the roof of the first story house, is cool, right? You get to a point where you're at the house party and there's a cute girl that you like, right? Everyone's vibing. You jump off the second story and you look like a badass, right? Then you get to a point where you're like, okay, cool. Everyone thought I was a badass because I jumped off the roof of the second story house. You get to a point where you jump out of the 10th, 15th floor building and you break your fucking neck, right? Look at it that way. Look at it that way. First story's cool, guys. Second story, fine. But you get to a point where you get to a point where, you know, you're no longer, it's no longer cool to jump out of the 15th story building, especially this late in the day when we're this far extended macro wise. There'll be new levels tomorrow. That's all good. Let's see if there was any news. I got the news channel in Discord. Those of you guys who are in the Discord, just go to the news feed channel. What do we got? Chinese firms have been discussing arms sales to who? Iran. Okay, wouldn't raise the markets, right? Fed's Kashkari, Fed's chair has a lot of influence. Kashkari says Fed chair is one of 12 voters on Fed policy. That wouldn't do anything. Kashkari not sure if Fed's policy rate decisions will have much effect on mortgage rates. Again, nothing, guys. I don't see anything in the past hour that have caused this spike. There's no active news that's causing this spike. Market's floating on fucking hot air. There's nothing. No Trump tweets, no deal struck, no nothing, right? No CPI data numbers were fucking fudged and they were wrong and CPI was actually lower. Nothing, right? Like, you got nothing. Kashkari said inflation is too high. Kashkari said Huge question mark about how long the Hormuz Strait will be closed, which will have a big effect on inflation. All of that sounds negative, right? And that was an hour ago. Those headlines came out about 40 minutes ago. But I mean, isn't that negative? Fed's Kashkari says we need to get inflation back to 2%. We should not move the goalpost any longer. None of this is like super like bullish. Like if anything, this is all kind of. So yeah, nothing right now. Bank of England's asked on what financial landscape is relevant. Nothing. It's all junk news. 30,000 sounds like a good mark. Yeah, I think Burks was talking about that too. 30K sounds like the mark. Right? Let's go to a weekly chart. Where the hell is 30K at? Let's just put a level up at 30K just so we can come back and have a party when we hit it. We're going to drop it at 30. That's close enough. We're going to make some notes here. So where's 30K? 30K is right up here. Let's move it down exactly 30K. Here's where we have a party, guys. So this is the prediction. What a move. Again, same narrative I felt like we've seen. Again, also, guys, when you're in a bull market, this is a bull market. When you're in a bull market or a bear market, the first move's always the fake one, right? So pull back, trap early shorts, go long. Okay, if this was a bear market, big run up off the open, trap those early longs, fall down. It's been the same narrative now for a month. Right? Anytime you get a big dip in the market, even when we get a gap up, you get a little dip, just kind of wait, right? Wait, because we're still in bullish context. Wait, let the market kind of play out, and then you can get long, right? Think about everyone who got smoked off the open, right? Everyone who got smoked off the open, even if you were trying to go long in here, look at what it did. Give it time. That's why I keep telling and stressing, like, you're never late to the party. You could never be late to the party. You know, you're either late to the party and just make a little bit less cash, or you're late to the party and you just sit back and have a beer and don't do anything like we're doing now, right? Like, I wouldn't recommend going long anymore. Just sit back, have your beer, enjoy your drink. That's it. All right, guys, with that being said, I'm out of here. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out of here. We ran for about an hour, 45 minutes. I thought it was a pretty good stream. Took a couple trades, played a couple levels. You know, didn't take part in the last big push here. Wish I was. But hey, you know what? We had the level, 29,463. We played it for a few points. Probably took 10 points all in all on this stream. Nothing too crazy. But a lot of majority of the work was done in the morning. So it is what it is. I'll see all of you guys on the next one. We'll probably be back tomorrow, the day after, and the day after. I think we're going to keep these streams going for everyone. If you guys want 90% off, use discount code DEEANTHONY with Apex. Also, if you guys want to join Discord, links down in the description box below, or any of my videos down in the description box below. You guys can come into the Discord. Small group, guys, about 10 guys focused. I know Burks is in there, Charlie's in there, B-Twin's in there. I don't know who else showed up here from the Discord, but cool dudes. We all try to work together. You know, we're all trying to do the same thing, right? Trying to make a little bit of cash. I'll see all of you guys on the next one.